Hi everyone. Welcome back to Duo Gaming. It's Adventures Anonymous time, season 1, episode 15. I think it's 15. I'm pretty sure it's 15. We're back with DM Okami and looking forward to getting into this. So, yeah. Ready to go.
Welcome back, everyone. And when we had last left off, our players had made their way into the first layer of the old castle, into the old ruins of Cypher's Keep. They had passed the first puzzles relatively unscathed and had some interesting conversations with Mini Cypher before making their way into the main chamber where they had discovered some kobold cultists, if you will. One of which had been worshipping at the statue of the great warrior. Our intrepid band managed to convince the little creature that one of their own is the great warrior. And now they have a sort of dedicated kobold guide who is taking them to the great library. I'm going to go ahead and start on level 2 with our dear players. And the walk down these old marble staircase, marble staircase. Or not? Is it not? I broke it. Oh no, not again.
What did you do?
I switched us to a map and clicked on something.
Welcome to Duo Gaming.
Okay.
Our brand is basically technical issues.
We gotta get one in. If we don't get one in, then that means I inadvertently murder you all.
Oh.
There
but
we go.
Everyone likes Augie.
Well, that's why it's going to be accidental. I'm not going to do it on purpose. But yes, the walk down the marble stairs is quiet, aside from the clanking and trumping of booted and metallic feet. The kobold guide has talked many times about the great master and how the great warrior will be able to solve all of the great master's puzzles. Then you come down into the entryway here and you see two large statues, both holding swords tightly in their grips, and these statues are enormous. This chamber is easily 20 feet tall. These statues are easily 10 feet wide, and they take up a good chunk of the area around you. Your kobold companion has run up to the door and isn't quite tall enough to reach. And as you all watch, this creature seems to come over to one of the statues and disappears into the shadow behind it.
Shall we, shall we follow? Try that. I don't know if I can. I definitely can't fit in the same crack as a kobold, but
Let me check first. An invisible scratch still is just gonna kind of like peek behind the statue.
There is no hole. There is no crack. There is nothing that would suggest that this kobold should have been able to get through this area.
It's probably a puzzle.
is it an illusion wall?
Scratch just kind of shrugs and tries to walk forward.
You bump into the wall, and it feels very solid.
Ow. No.
Can we look for clues then?
With the Grand Dragon's permission, of course, I could just blast this door to pieces.
No, they said we were like supposed to solve the puzzles. No destruction yet.
All right. Well, we got statues. Let's look at them.
Okay.
Looking up at the statues, do they look familiar at all?
Roll me a history. You've seen depictions of armor that's very similar to this in Zypher's library, in some of the books you had gone through, some of the things you all had discussed, and occasionally you would see a similar style, a slightly updated style of this armor on some of the soldiers in Zypher's New Kingdom.
Well, they're definitely not from an older civilization than than Zypher himself.
Augie's gonna do a little tappy tap on their amulet around their neck and cast the invisibility to see if the kobold just pulled a scratch. Also, I see Scratch like picking his nose when he thinks nobody can see him.
No, you don't see the kobold anywhere. It's as if he had stepped through the shadows.
Scratch. Stop picking your nose. It's unsightly.
It itches.
From a medical point of view, there is actually some benefits to nose picking.
See?
A different time we can dive into that.
There are some forms of shadow magic that allow transportation through shadow.
Oh, I don't have it. You mean like, what's his face? How he kind of shadow walked?
I'm not sure which what's his face we're talking about, but yes.
You know,
What's his
Hot.
face?
old elf drow lives in the sewer.
Oh yeah, yes, him. Rylan.
Yeah.
I don't think he lived in the sewer. He just had a bar in the sewer.
What did you say, Molly?
He said he doesn't live in the sewer.
That definitely not a god is going to be upset about that. Okay. Should we just try the door? I mean, Kobold couldn't reach it. Maybe he was going to go get a friend or a stool to balance on.
I mean, it looks like Halstrom's doing that right now.
Should somebody tell Halstrom that he's muted?
Probably.
Halstrom was unaware that he is muted.
We assumed as much.
I'm just imagining Halstrom like gesticulating with his mechadendrites and talking, and then tapping something on the side of his head, and just like, my vox was off.
You all hear an unearthly screech that none of you can possibly comprehend, as Halstrom has defaulted to binary. Yes. So Halstrom, what did you do with the door?
I simply grabbed it by the handle and opened it.
The door swings open.
Wow.
and you see the kobold on the other side, nervously fidgeting and kind of looking around a little bit, and then he sees the door opening and kind of,
oh yes, you have succeeded in the first trial of the tongs.
Oh,
Normally, when kobolds come, we come in pairs to open the door, but this was a trial I could not pass on my own.
Can I make an insight check on that one?
go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, I want to too.
that's so funny.
These are all kobold trials because they're all tiny.
Yes, Halstrom, he is telling the truth. Typically, the kobolds will come down here in pairs to open the doors that come nearby. Yeah. Jazzy, when did you get here?
Have you all thought about keeping a stepladder with you?
How'd you get through the shadows? Oh wait, I'm a dragon. How'd you get through the shadows?
Oh, great lord, you have deigned to speak with us again. It is the power granted by you, oh mighty shadow dragon.
Yes, that was a test.
Yes, of course, Lord, of course. We use this power to honor you in all of the evils we commit.
As I catch up with Augie, I'm gonna whisper, "Oh, great Drake Lord, do you think we ever just overthink things?"
Every motherfucking time.
All right, so the kobold is, he starts to move a little further up, and just kind of starts gesturing with the claws to pull you all in and for you all to follow him.
Quickly now. This way to the library. The first of the many libraries.
Real quick,
Yeah.
just because I have a slight feeling about something. Well, no one can really see this, but suddenly the lights on Salt's cannon start to glow as I load in a spell. Just
Okay.
okay, I'm just charging up the spell ring with a spell quietly, just in case.
Okay.
Okay. So
I mean, I probably have clocked that before I left because the invisibility I think lasts for
yeah, you could see me
an hour.
cast, like, putting my hands on Salt's arm cannon and just making an incantation and pushing it into the spell storing ring that's installed into it.
Okay.
Duly noted.
Yep.
Okay.
And periodically, I've been making a godly glow around Salt and Augie with thaumaturgy.
Okay. Yeah, the kobold at this point is pretty sure that Okami. God damn it, Calico! I was looking at the Twitch chat when that came out of my mouth, and I read my own damn name. I blame Calico for this. This is their fault. Let it be known. Yeah, this kobold is pretty convinced that Augie is the Great Lord freed, and the Great Lord has somehow escaped of their prison and is now coming to help them unlock the secrets. And, Salt is the Great Warrior, so this thing is pretty much ready to make divine conversion, so...
Okay. I just didn't want to, like, just later be like, oh yeah, I put a spell into. I wanted to actually, just be safe. Okay.
Very good.
Divine Warrior walks through the door with. Oh, I accidentally picked that up. With Scratch.
Why are you picking up my door? What did my door do to you?
It's adorable.
Valid.
There, I put it back where it was.
All right. Everybody through the door. Did we have anything else to do in this chamber?
If Scratch goes to move by me, I'll just like subtly put a hand out to their shoulder and I'll just say very lowly, is there any way they're leading us to like a mass ritual in which we're gonna die?
In my experience with others of my kind, leading us into some sort of ritual is probably low on the possibility list. However, we do really enjoy very deadly and contrived traps, so just keep your guard up.
Well, if anything is hidden, I should be able to see it, but why don't you scout ahead and see if you can detect any traps?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, pretty. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I kind of whisper to Salt to stay near Augie for the moment.
Okay.
You know, I'll raise my head high and like puff my chest.
Yeah. Salt just kind of nods to Augie and then kind of settles back in like almost like a bodyguard kind of pose, like, you know, the great warrior protecting the master kind of thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk forward, keeping my wits about me as I quietly either perceive or investigate dealer's choice as I walk forward.
Go ahead and give me a perception if you're just kind of looking around. You're not specifically looking at anything. Okay. Up the hallway on your right, you see a collection of artwork. And on your left, you see, the first thing you see is an open doorway that appears, as you just kind of poke your head in, appears to have a couple bookshelves, a couple drawing boards, a fair collection of dust.
Oh god, I thought you were gonna say ducks. I was gonna lose my shit.
No, the ducks come later.
Oh, yeah.
Usually a door frame.
Is there a visible theme or sameness to the artwork that's hanging?
No, it kind of appears to be a little bit of everything. It looks like some of the paint. You see portraits of Zypher and who you assume to be Raylith, as they look very, very similar, and just, you know, they look like twins, except one appears to be a man, one appears to be a woman. Other than that, they look very similar. And to the room on your right, it appears to just be a cave-in. It looks like whatever this room was, it's now just a pile of rubble.
And
across from it,
quietly
you see-
reach up and try and jiggle the handle on the door.
roll me a stealth.
I mean, there's got to be a bonus for being invisible, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
See him go to open the door, I'll say, so, how much longer?
Oh, great master, great master. If all of your companions are ready to continue, we shall continue further on.
Please lead on, do haste.
Yes, of course.
And the kobold starts to lead. Scratch, the door opens easily. It squeaks, but as you hear the kobold talking to Augie, you note he doesn't seem to notice anything.
Just hold on. Just be safe. I'm gonna run back over here real quick. Pick up a rather large rock, put it under my cloak, go back across, and then reach back and throw the rock into the cave-in area just as I use my foot to kind of push the door open.
I feel like I need to make you roll something for that.
You want
But-
sleight of hand?
Give me a sleight of hand and then an acrobatics. Or would that be athletic? No, give me a sleight of hand and an athletics. You have no problems finding the rock, and you have no problems hiding the rock, and
Oh, this
And
is
I'm
gonna
just
be the one that
trying to
hurts.
chat with the kobold, like, so, have you
But
hold kobold cakes?
Since they're distracting, do I get any kind of advantage?
I mean,
Well-
don't worry, you pass.
Okay.
I'm trying to give the help action.
The sleight of hand you were totally fine with. The athletics, you're not used to throwing this kind of stuff. Like this isn't the same kind of shape. It's kind of craggly. It's a little heavier than your usual flasks are. So it's kind of a weird wonky throw.
I just
But
kind of
you're-
grab it with both hands and do the between the legs bowling thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're able to throw it, and it lands. It clatters against all the rocks, and the sound echoes back towards our group as you push the door open, and it thunks against the wall. It doesn't make a lot of noise. Bless you.
Thank you.
The noise of the door thunking against the wall is completely missed in the clattering of the rocks, as you can hear some of the larger ones shifting, and everything's kind of scraping and grinding. And Augie, you had asked a question about kobold cakes to this kobold, and before he can answer, down the hall a ways, you all hear the sound of a rock fall, shockingly. And the kobold kind of jumps, and he starts skittering down that way, and he goes,
Oh, great master, great warrior, stay here. Allow me to investigate. You shan't not be in danger. I will investigate the threat.
and he goes running off.
Hearing him you know what? No, I'm just gonna relax. I'm just gonna relax. Go stand against the wall in my invisibility cloak and just hang there for a minute.
Brutus is gonna. Hey, danger? Where's the danger?
There's no danger, Brutus, so you can just stand down. That was Mr. Scratch.
Oh,
I don't think your mic is picking you up, love.
Okay,
Can you
there we
hear
go.
me
How's that?
now?
How's
Oh,
that?
not me. I'm not alone. That's fine.
I was about to say, but I was being responded to.
There. Is that better? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes,
What?
because I heard your description from the other side of the room, but it
Yeah.
didn't pick up on the mic.
Yeah, I had to set myself to push to talk because otherwise it picks up on the fan and my mic just goes hot.
Ah,
So yes, the kobold goes skittering down the way. Scratch, you hear him yelling about defending the Great Master, and you hear him go running into the cave with all the rocks. And you hear him loudly decrying,
Out, foul beast! I shall defend the great master.
and you kind of hear him digging around through the rocks, trying to find whatever made that noise.
Quietly, Scratch just thinks to himself, "This is why I don't live with other kobolds."
So what was your plan, Mr. Scratch?
I was just scouting ahead. What's in the room that I'm in now?
The room you're in now contains a lot of very interesting things.
Oh boy.
This this room appears to contain puzzles. Of all
Like-
things.
I was gonna say, like, are we talking jigsaw puzzles?
Well, it appears to contain a collection of stones that are organized in a particular order. There are 3 figures that appear to be fighting. There appears to be what looks like a teeny tiny obstacle course.
Okay.
And you see notes on some of them that are labeled no, failure, wrong, broken, try again. Several, you're not quite sure what they are broken in whatever form they're in. And there is a desk with a few notebooks and some papers scattered on it, and then an empty shelf with several drawers. A couple are pulled out but appear to be empty.
Okay, because priorities. I'm gonna go back to the door, assuming that Augie is still watching. I'm going to kind of like lean out and as my invisible self and kind of wave and attempt to give the thumbs up sign, because I don't know how detailed their vision is to see it.
Augie, give me a perception.
I will certainly attempt. Perception. Ooh la la.
Yeah, you're able to see Scratch pretty easily, pretty clearly. You were looking down that way anyway, kind of trying to figure out where he was. You see him poke his head out and signal at you and wave and thumbs up. You see him really easily.
I walk towards Mr. Scratch.
Okay. The kobold, the other one, at this point, as you make your way down, has stopped digging through and comes out of the room as you make your way down, Augie, and is clutching a large rat in its jaws.
Oh. I see you have nullified the threat.
Yes, great master. I have found the intruder and I have slain it. And I offer you the sacrifice in your name.
Today is a special day, for I will bless this creature and return it to you for consumption.
The kobold looks at you in a way that you can only describe as wonder and kind of awe as it looks down at you with the rat in its hands, and it looks back up at you and it just nods very solemnly and then just starts tearing into this thing.
Bitch,
Are we
I'm not
sure?
eating a rat.
And then just basically gulps this thing down, and it has like blood and fur all stuck to its snout.
Are we sure these things are related to our good captain?
You should have seen him before he was your good captain. Shall we continue now that you've had your blessing?
Yes, Lord, yes. As you can see, the door to the library is magically opened as you have graced us with your presence. The castle itself reacts to you and your magical might, Lord and Master.
And it, it points at the door that Scratch is standing just inside.
Well, please go first. I never enter a room before anyone else. Safety, mind you.
I just kind of move out of the doorway, just be safe.
Very good, very good. My roll 20 is acting up, so give me just a moment.
Just a moment.
Just a moment, please. One moment.
Okay, there we go. Yep. I think everything's all stable. At least for the moment. And it's not me. So the kobold looks at you, Augie, again and just nods very solemnly, and makes his way over into the room and gives a grand... Ooh, you got very...
Clearly that rat
so
was,
big.
Wow, blessing, really.
yeah.
This kobold suddenly grows to the size of your average medium creature, and I don't know why. It's the blessed rat. It's got to be the blessed rat.
You accidentally grabbed the corner.
I didn't mean to.
And our rat grew 3 sizes that day.
But anyway, we're just gonna, suspension of disbelief. He's just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
He's not that big.
His rat was just too many blessings from the great Lord Vermithrax, and he growed so big. But yes, he comes in, and he pushes the door open, and bows low to you and gestures you inside.
I look to make sure Salt is still following.
Yes, he should be. Right, yeah.
Keep up appearances, yes.
Do 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 do.
As Salt and Augie enter, the kobold looks back at you, Augie.
Almighty great master, would you like me to close the door so that your rabble be not aware of your almighty and holy teachings?
In my recent years, I've learned to be benevolent with my information and teaching, so they know to follow the true Lord. Please allow them in.
Augie, I need you to roll me a deception.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Solid deception.
Okay. All right. The kobold looks at you, and he kind of squints a little bit before just nodding reverently and leaving the door open and kind of glaring at anyone who comes up behind him and just kind of...
You are lucky the master is benevolent.
Before he kind of just moves over into the corner to just observe.
I look for Scratch.
Lachlan's standing on top of me right now.
Oh, okay.
I walk solemnly into the corner and then kind of stop, feeling something with my foot. Look down, pat the air, step to the side.
I give Scratch the eyebrow, like, well, what am I doing?
Teachings.
I will look for materials to read aloud.
Okay. Sitting on the desk appear to be some notebooks. There appears to be a few papers scattered about. You see the same puzzles that Scratch had seen earlier, several of which are broken, most of which appear to be incomplete.
Do any of the puzzles look easy enough to finish, like, to impress? Like, oh, I see what you're trying to achieve, but with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And kapow. Perfect puzzle.
Give me an intelligence check.
Oh,
Because these
God.
don't look super familiar to you.
Can I give the help action?
How are you going to help Augie?
I would like to see if I am able to understand any of the puzzles and then tell Augie in an encoded way.
What kind of coded language are you using?
Fucking flowery bullshit. Yes, your greatness, of course, you would see that many of the trials in this room are incomplete, and of course you would know how to solve them, for you are the greatest amongst us. That sort of shit.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to give me a deception on this one, Lachlan.
Deception? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Where is deception? This is not a skill I use often.
It's right below athletics.
And I have the same 0 to deception that I do to athletics.
Feels bad.
Okay. So you start helping Augie, and I will go ahead and give the help action for this one. The kobold is kind of watching you, Lachlan, like very closely, and is very quietly muttering under his breath in a draconic sounding language. And just
I
kind of
still
looking
have
back.
comprehend languages up.
Huh?
I still have comprehend languages up from when I cast it earlier.
Okay. So yeah, anybody that speaks Draconic would hear him muttering and mumbling about the usurper, the interloper, how dare, assuming the Great Master does not know, bloody, 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 grumblings and mutterings like that.
Because I understand what he's saying, I will turn sharply toward him and I will say, while you are in my presence, you will speak up. And if you have something to say, you will say it proudly.
He kind of shies away a little bit. Of course, Great Master, of course. I simply did not wish to speak against one of your court as this one insinuates that you do not know. You do not understand the great puzzles. He attempts to make a fool of you, Great Master. I could not hold my tongue. Forgive me, for I know he is one of your attendants, but this one, they say they do not respect the great Lord Vermithrax as they should.
That I didn't, in my own way, ask for their opinion.
Of course, Lord. I should not have spoken out of turn. Of course. I shall keep my thoughts to myself. Of course, Lord. Forgive my errant ways. Forgive me, Lord.
For we shall use the begrudgingly positive traits of those underneath us to get what we want, to seek what we demand. You need to use them until you can't. Because I would rather see them shrivel up from the overexertion of energy than myself. Puzzles are beneath me.
Of course, Lord. Forgive me, especially with one so powerful as you to take over the other castle, the Shadow Lord, the one who has blessed you with this power. Of course, Lord, you have overtaken him, so truly are the master of this realm. Forgive me, Lord. I shall never speak against you or your entourage again. Forgive me, Lord Vermithrax.
Scratch just kind of quietly walks up behind the kobold and smacks him in the back of the head.
Give me a strength roll.
Strength.
Can you maintain your invisibility if you hit someone like that?
Oh, that is an attack roll.
Oh, you're right. It is an attack roll.
Mhm.
It is an attack.
It is an attack roll.
But you know what? Yeah, because I can cast invisibility at will, so I smack him, come out of invisibility, and then immediately go back in.
Blink in and out.
Wait, that was a strength save. Yeah, 9.
So as you go to attack him and to hit him, he bows again very quickly, and your hand just kind of whiffs over him. And he doesn't seem to notice as you blink back into existence for a moment before disappearing again. He kind of looks in your direction and kind of blinks a couple times before just rubbing his eyes and shrugging.
I just kind of shrug, looking at Augie.
I pick up some of the, like, papers or books or whatever. See if I can read anything.
Okay. What languages do you know?
Well, you know, I do know Draconic and, Common and Abyssal and Elvish and Giant.
Okay. So, with your Elvish,
My Elvish eyes.
your Elvish eyes and your Elvish language, you are picking up some very it's a very broken text. This is a very, very old text and does not appear to be in any form of Elvish that you know. From what you have seen in the town, this is very similar to the ancient Undercommon, if not even older than that.
I want to take a look, but I'm still a statue.
Mm. I'm going, if I pocket that, I'm going to turn to, like, this section over here. No, I don't pocket it. I kind of hold it out a little bit to my side and kind of, like, wave it a little bit back and forth, hoping to catch Mr. Scratch's attention. And then I go look at all of whatever's on the side.
Okay.
Oh, you have it.
Yeah, so Scratch, you see Augie holding out this paper.
And I guess I wait for a moment when she's not being watched or in line of sight, and I reach up and try to take it.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check, please.
I'm so good. Look at that.
So you pass, but you pass in the most spectacularly bumbling way possible. So, in a bizarre series of events, including more rocks shifting in the room across the hall, to which the kobold turns and looks, Scratch, for just a moment, you are able to reach out, and as you reach out to grab the page, because you have to go around Lachlan, you're able to grab it, but you stumble for just a moment and manage to grab it and kind of thump as you stumble a bit, as the kobold turns back and sees Augie just kind of stretching as if they had never had anything in their hand to begin with, and he had completely missed the entirety of what happened.
Okay.
So you now have the page.
I can't do anything with it right now because I'd have to hold it to read it. But yeah.
And yes, Augie, on the other side, this is all the versions of the traps. There are 9 blocks with sigils inscribed on them in a particular row. There are 3 figures that appear to look like wooden soldiers that are facing off. There's a small replica of an obstacle course, and there are several more that are broken and damaged.
Does any catch my eye as important or necessary?
Nothing appears to be super important or necessary. These all look like broken, unused. They almost look like toys for the way that they've been crafted. They definitely appear to be puzzles, but you can't make heads or tails. Actually, you didn't give me... Did you give me that intelligence check that you got the help action with?
Nope. Oh, my intelligence is so good.
13, not bad. So you can definitely tell some of these are puzzles. Some of these are definitely put slot A into hole B, twist part C, and attach part D kind of stuff. But you can't really make heads or tails of what they could be just because you don't have any context for what they may be.
Got it. What is next?
Let's check in with Yurei real quick, because I see you're down in the other area.
I was just going to look for research or anything that might be of interest.
Okay, give me an investigation.
I can certainly do that. Let me hit that button. I can certainly do that.
You can certainly do that. Yeah, so you find kind of the same things. You find diagrams that appear to be of old, of puzzles or contraptions. They're in that same very, very old, ancient undercommon. You find journals, more paperwork. On this wall, or this board, you find a diagram of some strange mechanical device made of spheres and made of circles that look like they would almost go around each other in a strange, fantastical way.
Can I make an intelligence check to try to decipher what that might be?
Go for it.
Just base intelligence check?
Base intelligence check. If you have an idea that this is some kind of mechanical device that appears to unlock or connect something, but you don't know what. The scribblings, and there's been things that are crossed out and things have faded, and you're just not sure.
I will keep those notes for later. Those seem handy.
Bueno. All right. Okay, yes. And the kobold has just kind of like started watching you guys and just kind of tracing his eyes around all of you and just kind of one by one, just kind of looking around, not really saying anything. And then we'll just look up at Augie and Salt and just kind of he almost looks like he's mouthing or muttering something, but there's no sound. As he watches you all move around the room.
I'm watching him very closely, just myself.
Give me a perception.
Okay. As soon as the characters, there we go.
You see the changes in his expression as he's looking at Augie and Salt versus when he's looking at everyone else. His expressions for everyone else have not quite hatred, but almost looks like a very carefully concealed disdain, and when he looks up at Augie and Salt, it's this look of wonder and this look of, wow, fuck, I'm actually meeting my god in real life. This is the greatest day of my life. And he's not, you can see him kind of mouthing things to himself, but he's not actually saying words. He's just kind of moving his jaws a little bit.
Okay. It's too close for me to whisper to anybody, so.
All right. What's next?
Shall we move forward?
Oh, yes, of course, mate, of course.
And he scrambles out of the way through the door first, because, of course, he can't let you enter a doorway first. And he kind of pushes past Rain and makes his way up over to another door.
Egal.
Another one.
Shock, surprise, a door.
A pretty big door.
They're not that big.
That's 10 feet wide.
I've seen bigger.
Hmm?
Do you need assistance, small one?
The kobold kind of hisses up at you.
You are not the great master. You are not worthy to open the door. The great master will have the key.
He just stares blankly, unfazed, and backs off.
I approach the door and I try to open it.
Right on top of him.
Yes. Move, bitch.
And he scoots back over into the corner, because how dare he occupy the space that his great lord intends to occupy?
Yes.
Well, they're all out there. I'm gonna look over the page I was given.
Okay. You speak Undercommon, right? You know Undercommon?
I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Undercommon, Elvish, Draconic, and Common. Yes.
Perfect. So yeah, you can, as you're flipping through this, it's a very, very, very old dialect of Undercommon. It's even older than the ancient Undercommon you had seen in the area of the kingdom you had come to. And it's a little tough for you to read out, just because there's a lot of weird flourishes and a lot of words that you haven't heard ever, because nobody says them. They're very old, archaic turns of phrases. Give me an intelligence check.
I wonder.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to. It takes you a little bit because this is such an old dialect. But you're able to discern that this is one of Cypher's journal pages.
One of the ones that we don't have, or a copy of one we do have?
This is of one you don't have. This appears to be a much older journal. This is almost before Cypher had even started acting as king.
Oh my god, I found his teenage diary.
You did. You guys found pages from his teenage diary.
I love it.
It's gonna be so edgy.
All about their crush.
It's not even going to be that edgy because the edge didn't start until way later. Like, this is definitely a little edgy. It's definitely one of those, a little bit of no one understands my genius.
Ugh, a manifesto.
My parents don't understand me. I'm gonna run away to a different kingdom and take over.
Kind of. It's my parents just don't understand. I don't want to be I don't fucking know. I don't want to be a servant to the high priestesses. I want to create things. I want to build things. And it's talking about how if he could just prove to them by building a defense to secure the vault, surely they would understand. Surely they would see what he means. And then the page cuts out.
I tucked that away for safekeeping. And yeah, that's all I got. Back out to the hallway.
Okay. Augie, this kobold is standing here, like, watching you as you look over the door.
I'll just turn over my shoulder and say, I do not appreciate when someone so closely watches over me. Can you give me some space?
Oh, yes, of course, Lord, of course. Forgive me.
And he moves further down, kind of past Halstrom, and kind of skulks into the rubble room.
Okay, I try to open the door.
Door is lurked.
Sure. So then I look at Yuri, and I'm like, you want to open the door? While he's not looking. I'll, like, make myself big and block.
I'll use my mage hand to invisible mage hand to open the door.
Okay.
Want me to roll a sleight of hand?
Please.
Let me get my character sheet open. Why wasn't my character sheet open? Why do you fight me? Roll 20.
Skill issue. I don't know, guys. I don't think that's gonna succeed. I don't feel like that number's high enough.
Yeah, you were so close. It was a 33.
Ugh. Yes.
Even on a crit fail, it's a 20.
He failed to 20.
That's fucking asinine. That pisses me off.
Question.
You're insane.
Answer.
While everyone's distracted with that door, can I just, like, in here and look at the books?
Go for it.
Sweet, because I can read any of them. Wahahaha.
Wahahaha.
Wahaha. Yes. So,
Do you want me to make, like, a stealth roll or anything?
yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth because you do have Blockland and Brutus and some of the other party members, like, right there, and the guy is right across the hall.
Oh yeah, it's mostly him that I'm worried about.
Yeah, he is at least partially blocked by Halstrom, but he is a lot smaller, so he may be able to see. So yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth.
I had forgotten to load my character sheet, so momentarily.
Duo Gaming, providing technical issues since way too long.
The dawn of time.
I'm feeling a little bit salty, so I'm gonna go here, look past Hallstrom into this room, and in this pile of rubble, I'm going to cause the illusion of a rat scurrying past with the sounds as well.
Okay. Yeah, Rain, you have no problem. He's not paying any attention to you at all. He's kind of poking around the corner and just kind of watching Augie a little bit, but not like watching, and is almost more focused on the people around them.
I mean, I was pretending to be a statue that Augie brought to life, so
Yeah.
I would imagine I would be in this category of not in the group he hates.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not one of the entourage. You are the Great Master's miracle.
Cool, so I'm just gonna be browsing, looking for interesting titles.
Okay. Are you just looking at the desk? Or are you going to open any of the drawers?
Oh, I'm gonna look everywhere.
Very good. Glad to know I'm not the only one that Roll20 decided to just bork for.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
me too.
it just
Yeah.
decided to reload.
I think that was everyone.
It had a hiccup.
Very
Hey,
odd.
it wasn't our technical issue this time.
Duo classic. Technical issues that aren't even our fault.
Oh well. It's fixed. Or it's back at least.
I mean, it's not completely futzing out, so I say we're good. Rain, we'll actually go ahead and do you real quick. Where do you want to start looking?
I would look on any shelves and surfaces, and one side, done a sweep, I would check the drawers.
Okay, so the books, you find a notebook and a few more papers on this desk.
Does the notebook look like it had been used by one
Oh yeah, it's very,
in
very,
particular or important?
it's very well worn and very well used. You have no problem reading it, and it is definitely Zypher's teenage diary.
I pocket it.
Very good. The pages on the table. The pages on the table appear to be some loose notes about some of the various puzzles, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, you can read them just fine, but it's notes like try again, half twist, double bounce, not there, that can't be, and it's things like that. It's kind of nonsensical notes that someone would be taking while they're in the middle of something.
Okay, I will take those anyway, just because they might be useful later.
Okay. And give me an investigation roll for the drawers.
Little dude has been talking about, the master's puzzles so often that I think they might be useful. Is it gonna do the thing? There goes the thing.
All right. Most of the drawers have dust of what used to be some mechanical components. There's a handful of rusted springs that are still vaguely intact. And in one of the drawers, you find a golden key.
I take it.
Very good. And anywhere else you wanted to search, or is that because everything else in the drawers appears to be old, broken mechanical parts and or what used to be mechanical parts?
If there's anything relatively intact, then I'll grab it for scratch.
It's
Aw.
mostly there's 3 rusted springs, there's 4 rusted bolts, and a small metal pipe.
And they're just loose.
Yeah, it's like somebody had just tossed a few in one drawer, some in the other, and some in another.
Okay, yeah, I'll I'll still grab them. You never know when you need little odds and ends.
The pipes can be made into shotguns.
Metal pipe.
Just going around like rifling through everything.
Very good, very good. Augie. So you and Yurei are up here at the door, and his little mage hand very easily unlocks the door, and you hear the bolt thunk, and you hear one of the main locks disengage.
I step back and I say, Salt, please open the door.
And Salt attempts to.
The door opens. Dun dun dun.
And Salt steps through.
The little kobold, having watched this from around the corner, comes skittering out and starts bowing and scraping at Augie's feet.
Oh, great master, you are so powerful, you are so brave. Oh, you are so smart. Only you could have solved this puzzle. Oh, you are truly, truly the world's bravest dragon and the world's greatest god.
Yes, I know. Thank you. It is nice to be praised. But I don't need it. I don't rely on the platitudes of others. Learn that for yourself.
Augie, roll me a d20, flat d20.
Oh, no.
Roll A1.
Okay, cool. This is fine.
You say that.
Yeah, that doesn't feel fine. Also, I see nothing but little white squares.
The kobold it's kind of waiting past the door entrance because as far as it knew, it was supposed to go into the room first, but now you've gone into the room first, so it doesn't know if it's supposed to go into the room first. He's not sure if he's supposed to go in the room, and he just kind of...
I assume that Salt walked in before I did.
Yes.
So I would have let Salt go in first. So I, hold up my I never enter in first.
Okay. He skitters into the room around Salt, just kind of, again, like bowing and scraping and kind of throwing a little bit of a dirty look Masaru's way because, you're too close to the Great Lord. Back the fuck up.
In Elvish, I'm gonna whisper to the spot that I think Scratch is, which is right. I'm gonna say right here. I'm gonna say, can I kill him yet?
Oh, the sound comes from a different area.
I let Salt go in, and then I'll follow.
Okay. As you come up, you make your way down a set of stairs, and you see before you an open, empty chamber.
What is the purpose of this room?
Oh, great master, this is one of the puzzles you had told us of. This is one of the trials that have been pressed before you by the false Shadow King. You had spoken to us and given us great knowledge of this, but we as your loyal servant have been unable to discern its need. We had been told there are writings upon the walls that my kobold brethren have attempted to decipher, but we do not speak, we do not write the writings of these creatures.
What's on the walls?
Let's see. How far up can you see?
I have 60 feet of, like, general range.
And Salt is glowing brightly.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So I can see that there is a something up here.
Yes, you see a something up there, and you see along the wall, you see placards that are similar to what you had seen before. You see another creature far up, Augie, who looks very similar to your little escort.
Can we read any of the plaques?
Not from the distance you're at. The writing appears to be very fine and a very flowing, looping script.
Okay. I will look around for everyone, and I'll be like, since this is the great puzzle, I'd like to see if you all could solve it. And then, which is secret code for get the fuck over here and help me read these plaques.
Very well, great dragon.
Very good.
And I'll just look like smug, like I'm like, aha, you guys are gonna do a puzzle, but you can't do it because I'm so great. And, you know, I'm just gonna kind of keep my eye on the new friend.
Very good.
He's in the wall.
He is in the wall. He's a kobold, and he's just, jammed himself inside of it. I don't know. I can't get the tokens to center, so.
Yeah, when you shrink it, I think on roll 20, it likes to go to the center unless you make it an image.
Likes to go to the corner?
Yeah.
So how you can get them to the center is in the token stamp, you click small token, and then it's a square PNG with the token centered.
I'm not worried. It helps me differentiate your kobold to their kobolds.
That's fair.
So
good tip for moving on.
Yes. So Yurei, you come up and you see this kobold up. He's kind of like pressed his whole body up against this wall. His face is like smooshed against it, almost as if he's trying to look behind the plaque for an answer or something on the back side of it. And he's just kind of like all pressed up against it. And his face is kind of grumbling and mumbling to himself. What languages do you speak?
Do you want the full list?
No, I need to know if you speak Draconic or Undercommon. I know.
I speak both.
Very good. You hear him grumbling to himself that the master makes puzzles too hard. The master knows kobolds not smart. Why must the master give this many tasks to be freed? The master knows it cannot read, but the master demands it of it anyway. He has not noticed you.
I'm just going to ignore his mumblings and read the plaque.
Okay. So the plaque in front of you reads, "Bested in combat. To unlock the door before you, you must best all 3 of my great warriors, each with 1 strike."
Interesting. I'm gonna check the other plaque to see if it says the same.
You're just gonna climb over the statue?
Just kind of going, doot. There.
You're just gonna climb over the statue? Okay.
I went around the statue.
I know, this is the way it shows up on Roll20. It looks like you're just going straight across it. So, the placard before you says, "A spear for range, a sword for speed, the axe for damage. How to best each warrior with 1 fell strike. Choose wisely, choose quickly. You only get twice." and the kobold still has not noticed you.
I'm just gonna pay him no mind. Because he seems to be off in his own little world.
He's just mumbling to himself about why would the master do these things? This makes no sense, blah, 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 and is totally not paying you any attention besides trying to, like, pry the plaque up, but not making any success, and trying to, like, push his nose behind it.
I mean, Yuri would have to tell us what they read.
Yes.
We're just kind of standing here looking at the statues at the moment.
Yep.
Yuri's just standing there staring off into his own little world.
Yep. There seems to be a riddle with the statues. Having to strike them down with one fell swoop. And with the statues, an attribute to each weapon.
Lachlan is going to speak up. Taking out multiple adversaries at the same time. Fireball.
I believe the riddle was referring to taking each statue, like one at a time, one attack per each. It also said that you get 2 chances. Weapons seem to be
the champion first. Someone solve this before that small little kobold defiles my chamber.
How loudly do you say that, Augie?
Very loudly.
Very good. As your voice echoes around the chamber, you hear a distressed squeak and the skittering of claws as this new kobold comes rushing over, staring at the ground to come see who has spoken with such power.
Dare you mumble under your breath that I have not created a fair challenge?
Yes, forgive me, Lord. I had not realized you had been released from your prison. I had not gotten the information. We had not heard back from the scouts that said that you had been freed. Forgive me, Lord.
And he's just kind of very pointedly has not looked up yet. He's staring at the ground in front of his own feet.
I'll say, who are you?
I am one of your loyal servants. Oh, great mighty master. You had called me number 2. I do not know if that was the name you had wished to give me, or if that was just my designation. Great Lord, you had summoned us when you had awoken, and if we had names before, we no longer associate them, and so we are assigned those that you had called us. I am number 2, great mighty Vermithrax.
Number 2. For the crime of questioning your lord, leave this place.
Of course. Shall I report to the others about your escape, almighty Lord Vermithrax, so that we may in fact ascend to the surface level and claim your throne from the
I don't
silver.
think you understood.
He grabs his snout and holds it closed.
You are now exiled for the crime of questioning your lord. You speak to no one, and you leave.
He just kind of gives out a muffled little, and then books it down past you guys and disappears through a shadow.
Pa. I look back at the other kobold.
He is very much just kind of wringing his hands and just kind of he's not saying anything. He's just kind of wringing his hands and just kind of watching you and just kind of looking between you and Salt and the puzzle and just the plaques and just kind of sitting there quietly.
Any progress? I'll look to Mr. Lachlan.
Your draconic greatness. I have a theory, but little else currently. Perhaps the way to defeat the 3 warriors in one fell swoop is to have them defeat each other. Maybe if we turned the statues to one another, then they would let us proceed.
Like your theory. And then Augie's like, that's a pretty good assumption, like massive boulder parchment shears. Like I wink, like, good job, yeah.
I have my hands clasped, but I have my thumb up in the clasp.
I'm just, waiting for someone to see if they can move a statue, I guess.
Yeah, while they're chit-chatting, I'd like to inspect the center statue. See if it's mechanical or magical of some sort.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Wait.
I'm waiting for it.
That's 19.
Can you
Sorry, that's
genius a skill that already uses intelligence?
Why not?
I don't know.
What was that?
Does it specify on there that it can't be used with an intelligence-based skill?
No, I was just wondering. Double stacking intelligence.
Of course.
That's why Scratch has survived so long, and 3 of these idiots are maybe dead. One of them is currently Augie's servant, and another one's been exiled.
Practically a death sentence.
Exactly. All right. So yes, Scratch, you kind of walk around the statue a little bit. You don't really see anything at first because it just kind of looks like a statue. And once again, since you've crit failed but also succeeded, you trip, and you notice as you kind of stumble and you land, you see that there's a tiny gap between the floor and the statue itself, and you can just peek in and you can just barely pick out a set of mechanical gears.
How big is the gap?
Maybe an inch.
An inch.
Mind the gap.
So, like, big enough for me to, like, slide a finger and maybe, like, just barely a hand through?
Yeah, you could probably fit your fingers under the gap. It's going to be a little bit of a squeeze, but you can probably do it.
Oh, I didn't say my fingers.
Yes, I suppose then you could probably fit. I don't know. Are you planning on shoving Lachlan's fingers in there?
I reach.
Lachlan's fingers go a lot of places, but into gears is not one of them.
I reach back on my belt and I unhook the little false life hand that I made.
Sniff.
Scrap.
Sniff.
Yeah.
And
Sniff
I
is
just
when he's made out of a nose.
just like whisper down to him, cause mayhem. And I just feed him in through the slot. My little tiny servant.
Okay.
and then I walk away.
Okay.
Your great draconicness, would you like me to attempt to move the statue that presents the most power first?
Proceed.
I'm gonna go over here and I'm going to say, loud enough for Brutus to hear, Dog, your grunt is required here.
His what?
Grunt. You know, like oomph.
Sorry.
Oh,
hear
did
grunt,
you think I said an Australian thing?
Yeah.
That would be incredibly wrong.
I thought when I hear grunt, I think like henchman.
Hmm.
Yeah. Or a noise that someone makes.
Technically, all three of the proposed meanings are correct. So to attempt to move the statue, do we need a strength check, athletics?
Yes, it'll be a strength.
Just straight strength. Is it with advantage because both of us are doing it?
Yeah, I can give you advantage.
Okay.
Okay. So between the two of you, as you push and as you kind of twist against this thing, you're able to start to get it to move, but it doesn't move very far. It only moves about half a turn. And as this happens, you hear more sounds coming from one of the other statues. And you hear the sound of clanging and metal churning as the spear statue appears to start moving on its own, but it's moving the wrong direction.
So it's moving towards the axe?
Correct.
Interesting.
There seems to be some link between these. Perhaps my supposition was incorrect. Perhaps it is the false king's belief that speed beats power. Well, oh, no, speed beats range.
Where's the other guy's right there. I can't whisper. Damn it. Never mind. Can't say anything. Ah.
You can always check your hypothesis. I look around to the others and see, like, what the rest of the group is doing. Anybody else want to help?
What are we doing?
Scratch is just staring intently at the middle statue.
Let's see. So we got this one facing this way, this one facing that way.
Here, let me draw a line.
Perhaps if we push it once more, then the statue with the spear shall face in the other direction.
Perhaps we should rotate the sword first.
Maybe.
see. Yeah, I'm gonna try to rotate the sword to face that way.
Which way is that way?
Line.
Towards the axe?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or towards the spear.
Or towards the spear?
Okay. Go ahead and give me a strength.
Ah, yes. My, can I try to justify using athletics since it is a feat of strength?
Here you go, Molly.
Thank you.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I think for this one, it's just gonna have to be a flat strength roll.
Okay. My best stat.
You aren't able to move it. So as you try to push, you can feel as if it wants to give, but you're just not quite able to move it enough. And it kind of rocks backwards a little bit back into its original position.
You are not using your legs. Halstrom's gonna try to move it using his powerful build.
Very good. Give me that strength.
See. Would he have advantage since his legs are reinforced for lifting and pushing?
I will give you a bonus, but I won't give you advantage.
Or you could work together.
You can try to assist. Yeah, even that strikes it.
That's working together.
Okay. So yeah, on Yurei and Halstrom, as you work together, Halstrom wasn't quite able to get it yourself at first. And then Yurei jumps in to help, and between the two of you, you are able to push the sword statue a half turn.
Which way is? Only that far? Alright.
Yes.
Once more. With gumption.
With feeling!
In your knees.
Yeah, as you guys kind of shove at it again, and you really put your back into it, lad. You're able to get it.
We all live together.
Yes, you are able to get it to turn again. And you hear as the statue settles into place, you kind of hear it thunk, and then you hear a kss.
I do believe that was the incorrect way.
Are we sure? Perhaps we could try the door.
What's up, Brutus?
No, that's Lachlan. Brutus talks like...
Your voice has changed.
That's because Lachlan's trying to be pious, holy fucker.
Mhm.
Oh, that makes that's me being stupid, not Augie.
I will go check. Will it open? What say the gods? You are muted.
So, as you turn the handle on the door, you hear a loud dong. as the statues reset themselves.
Of course, how could I have doubted my original supposition? I was in fact correct. Speed beats power.
So we do it in. So you are saying we do it in reverse then?
Yes.
Spear to sword, sword to axe, axe to spear.
Yes. Brutus, help me. Gonna try and spin it twice so that it's pointing at the spear.
See, Halstrom and Yurei will attempt to rotate unless anyone else wants to assist in the rotate.
Oh, actually, I'm going to attempt to rotate this one after the sword is rotated, so that we do it in line. Hopefully that means that this one won't rotate before this one.
See, Yurei, give me that strength. Have the correct character sheet open. My boy!
Oy.
You lifted with your back!
I heard a crack from here.
It's just like...
So, Yurei, I need you to roll me a d8.
That's a D10.
You're counting up sevens. So, as you're trying to push this, even with Halstrom's help,
I didn't even roll for Halstrom yet.
Oh, you didn't roll for Halstrom? This is just under your own power. Even better! So...
There's Halstrom's roll.
Cool, we'll get to Halstrom in a second here. So, Halstrom, or Yurei, my god, pick one character, damn it. Yurei, as you're trying to push this thing, one of your feet comes out from under you, and as you push, your hands slide off the statue, and as you fall, you hyperextend your back. And you feel, it doesn't feel good. You've pulled something, twisted something, sprained something, potentially torn something. All you know is, holy fucking shitballs, that hurts.
Yurei's just going to quietly anger him, swear under his breath. A little bit of a pained noise. I take 7 damage.
You do, in fact, take 7 damage. And
Maggie is dying inside because, like, they want to, like, run over and be like, oh, are you okay? Like, here's loving, and you need a noodle. How about a cookie? But they can't. So they, like, turn away from where the kobold is and they make, like, a face like, are you okay?
Just giving a paid thumbs up with the mechanical arm.
Universal symbol for don't call it ambulance.
Lachlan, hearing crack, looking over, going, oh no, I need to fix this. Can't fix this with Kobold watching.
I'm just gonna take 5 over here.
So, Halstrom, which direction are you turning the statue?
Towards the axe.
Good, very good.
I will tend to your slip up in a moment.
Yeah, you're...
Perhaps you need a back harness for next time you decide to lift.
need a back brace.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he needs a squat belt.
This place is not OSHA certified.
Oh.
It doesn't have enough handrails.
Where are the handrails?
There are no handrails. Look over here.
Yes, so Hallstrom, after watching Yurei injure himself, you are able to turn the statue, having success previous time, not turning the statue quite as far, and you're able to line it up with the axe. The statue with the axe.
Does it make a nicer noise?
It makes no noise, but it settles into its position.
Okay.
Brutus and I are going to turn the spear towards the big dude, and I am giving the help action to Brutus. Buddy!
Damn.
Oh shit!
So, that's 8?
So Brutus, roll me a d8.
Oh, Brutus.
The only damage taken is self-inflicted.
So Brutus, hang on.
Brutus is
Brutus, having seen what Masaru had done, and not paying attention to what Hallstrom did, attempts to do the same. And Lachlan, before you're able to stop him, he hyperextends himself. And you hear a loud crack as your poor Brutus has now taken 5 self-inflicted damage.
Brutus is gonna be a lot less chill than Masaru was and immediately collapse into a whimpering puddle.
Heartbroken. I'm like inching ever so closer to Brutus to like, must lay on hands, must not lay on hands.
You
The
stupid
eternal
dog.
struggle of the group mom.
We need you at full health. I'm going to use a healing word to fix up that hyperextension. Now level 2. Level 2, I can do level 2.
As Masaru watches in agony.
I'm fine.
Get back up.
Masaru's on the ship.
Sorry, Ire.
Does that fix the hyperextension, or will that take actual healing?
That will take actual healing. Brutus is feeling better and can walk again, but it is very, very tender and still in pain.
Can I have Hallstrom do a medicine check?
Yorick, I choose you. Use syringe. Stab.
Yorick is at the ship with Yin.
Okay, yeah, give me that medical check.
Damn. It appears you have injured your back.
Yeah, that's about all you can get without doing a full once over. Is Yurei has pulled something or slipped a disc or torn something, but without doing a full look over, you can't quite tell.
So, this will not fully heal you, but that will not fully heal your back, but this will keep you in fighting shape.
Oh, I need to do it, don't I?
And Hallstrom's going to cast Cure Wounds. Why is Cure Wounds not popping up?
Your permission, your draconic excellence. May I alter my form as to better turn these statues? Your draconic excellence.
That's not me.
For once.
Okay.
Augie, are you alive? Or are you dying inside?
I'm sort of half falling asleep. Okay. Repeat your question. I got so bored watching you fail.
May I alter my form to better deal with these statues that are impeding your wonderful way, your wonderfulness?
Well, seeing as your predecessors couldn't even figure out the plaque, I shan't see why not.
Just waste of a 5th level spell slot. I'm gonna be a giant gorilla. A giant ape. My robe would most likely rip off my body as I grow to full size.
Rar.
Okay.
And I'm going to grab the statue either side. Can you would I be able to have access to a giant ape so I can roll the strength or
1 second.
Thank you.
I gotta find giant ape. Where is... What's the CR on a giant ape?
It's CR8, isn't it? I'll look it up. It is CR7. It has a strength of 23, which is a +6.
How do I not have a giant ape? Hold on, I just have to... giant ape. And can be done by... Okay, you have access.
Thank you. I'm going to grab the top of the statue and turn it towards turn the spear towards speed beats power, range beats speed, towards the sword. And I assume you probably need that roll, Molly?
Yep, strength, please. Okay, so as you're trying to turn this statue, it almost feels like there's something preventing it from turning. There's something caught in the gears, and you can't quite get it to budge.
Frustrated, I beat my chest, and I have an intelligence of 7 at the moment, so I would try again.
Halsham's gonna try to help, seeing the big monkey fail.
Okay.
Keep
That was
strong
intelligent.
together.
So let's do that strength again. This is with it.
Okay.
This steel is stronger than flesh.
Between the two of you, you are in fact able to turn the statue towards the sword. You do notice that you do still meet some resistance, and you hear kind of a grinding, tearing in the gears as the statue turns that you hadn't heard with the sword.
Does the axe move with it?
The axe does not move.
Unusual. Boop, 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 boop. Rotate the statue.
Can I roll above a 6, please?
What the heck?
Oh my god!
That's about the sound it makes.
The fact that it's 21. It's 21, 21, 23 on the other side. Just, oh.
17.
So, again, between the two of you, you're able to move the statue. This one's a little easier than the last one, and it turns with very little sound to face the spear. And as the three statues have been moved, they all sink down into the ground. Scratch, roll me perception real quick.
Oh, quick. As quick as the character sheet allows it.
Of course, don't worry, time is suspended. Ah, yes. So you do, in fact, see Scrap kind of scuttle out the back. He looks a little worn and torn, but he does appear to be in one piece, but there may be pieces missing.
Okay.
And then the three statues sink into the ground, and you all hear a loud thunk before everything goes silent.
Want me to go check the door? Oh no, stairs.
My one weakness, stairs.
I am an injured ninja.
You're ninjaed.
Gonna throw a food pellet at you.
Augie leans down and says, "Would you like me to carry you, Brutus?"
It doesn't hurt so much anymore. It just.
Who's a
Just
good
tender.
dog?
Yeah, I'm a good dog.
May I pick you up?
Okay.
It is
No.
locked.
I'll pick up Brutus so he doesn't have to walk, and I will shoot eye daggers at the kobold if he so even thinks about questioning.
He doesn't say anything. He's just continuing to wring his hands and is just kind of casting glances between everybody and just kind of looking all around the room, kind of very, very fidgety and just kind of nervously moving his feet and just wringing his hands. Just
I'll
he
look
hasn't said
pointedly
anything.
and I'll say, "What makes you so nervous?"
Just your greatness, my eminence, and truly, your might to command above all is truly awe-inspiring. I would just so much power before me. I I am but a lowly kobold who is not worthy to stand in front of you.
You're not wrong. Your pathetic display at solving this puzzle means you are not quite ready to ascend into my entourage.
Yes, of course, of course, my lord, of course. But where would you have I go? Would you have I stay here? Would you prefer I tell the others of your glorious return? What orders do you have for me, mighty Lord Vermithrax?
I will have you wait here until the puzzle resets itself. And when it does, solve it on your own and then find me.
Yes, of course. Almighty Lord Vermithrax, I shall do as you have commanded me, my great mighty lord.
And then we all go forward. I'm like, hey gang, let's get the F out of here. Doop-a-doop-doop-doop.
Okay, Yude, you have hobbled your way up to the door. It opens.
Fantabulous.
All right.
Question.
Answer.
Can Halsham use Lesser Restoration to fix Yure's back?
If you know what's wrong with it, yes.
Can he make another medicine check?
Yeah, absolutely.
The ape is gonna squeeze through.
This is no monkey business, but I need to check your back, Yurei.
It's no monkey business, really.
Yes. Halstrom, you're able to diagnose Yude has pulled muscles in his back. And yes, you would be able to fix that with lesser restoration.
Fantastic. He's going to cast that. Da-da-da. Let the light of the Omnisire mend this flesh so that it may be as strong as steel. There we go. And mark me down a spell slot. There we go.
All right. Yes, Yurei is no longer a version, we'll call it a version of paralyzed, because you were definitely hobbled.
Yes. Where is that status? There it is. I will remove that status. Ah, thank you, Doctor. Now this seems to be quite a storeroom here.
Yes. Before we continue this, do we want to go ahead and take a break?
Sure.
Let's say 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and continue our adventures.
Cool. I will be gone by then, so good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
There's the other question. If we're losing Augie, do we want to continue or stop, since we're also missing two others?
You are correct. Our player's good with wrapping up tonight in the storeroom, and then when we pick up with hopefully more people, we'll pick up from here, and you guys can loot the storeroom.
Yeah.
Good.
I am good with that as well.
Thingy?
So is that official then?
I believe so.
Yes, I'm just checking. I'm sorry, I'm just checking one other thing on my screen. Yes. We are Gucci. Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you for watching with us. Hey, check out the TikTok. We got some character intros over there for the Journeys in Dratori campaign. We ought to be seeing some more character intros here and there very soon. We have some new art coming up. And if you'd like to see more from us and you want to leave us a tip, please, little feline duo down there needs to feed his dice addiction. So hit that button down there too if you feel like it. Other than that, I thank y'all for watching, and remember, there's 20 sides to every story. Roll for yours.